Howdy folks, today we're going to be talking about load securement a little bit. We're going to use my load here for the examples. It is a 1998 Caterpillar 416C. As you can see, it's a backhoe, four-wheel drive model, turbocharged. According to the paperwork, it weighs 14,000 pounds. According to tractor data, it weighs 13.8 and change. We're going to go with 14,000 because that's what the paperwork says, and it's an even number, easy for my examples. So I'm going to show you how to tie this stuff down per the regulations. Now, whether you're a truck driver and have to follow these, or if you're a farmer or a person like just someone moving stuff for themselves, this is the, I don't want to say this is how you tie it down because that would make me liable, but this is how I tie this down and it meets the regulations. So we're just going to go over the regulations and show you how I tie it down. It's an example, it's not a how-to, so I'm not liable if you get tickets or anything or kill somebody or whatever. Now, I'm using the book that we truck drivers will use, one of them. That is it right there, this FMCSR, Federal Motor Carrier Safety Regulations. It's their pocket book. They have bigger spiral bound books, and they have load securement books you can buy, whatever. So, again, this is 14,000 pounds. So first off, we're going to talk about the general requirements for load securement in aspect to this. Okay. So, Part 393-106 says that is the general requirements. That says you need to have load securement for half the weight of the thing being tied down. So, this weighs 14,000 pounds. We need 7,000 pounds of load securement. That's the general. Now, I have binders and chains. That's how I tied this down with. The binders are rated for 7,100 pounds. And let's see, I'll find one so you can see it. I don't know if you can see that there or not. Probably not. 7,100 pounds. I have 3/8 grade 70 chain. If you go to part 393-108, there's a chart for working load limits of chain. Size 3.1 millimeters, also 3/8. Grade 70 transport chain. That is 2,990 kilograms, 6,600 pounds. So, in the load securement, you go by your weakest link. Binder is 7,100 pounds. Chain is 6,600 pounds. So, a system can weigh no more than the weakest, can secure no more than its weakest link, which is the chain, 6,600 pounds. Now, if we go back to 393-106, that goes into how you add up your load securement. I'll do a separate video on this, but I'll cover it here as well. This is a chain. There's your binder, or boomer as some people call them. So, this particular one goes, the binder is at the rub rail, next to the chain goes up to the machine, hooks back on itself. If it is hooked like this particular chain can only get half rated. If it is hooked on to the trailer up to the machine, it gets half rated. If it goes from the trailer up to an object and back to the same side of the trailer, it's half rated. If it is hooked like a basket, such as this one on the back, where it goes from one side of the trailer up over the bucket and back down to the other side of the trailer, that gets full rated. So this right here, 6,600 pounds. This one right here, 3,300 pounds. And I have one on the other side, 3,300 pounds. That's 66 up front. Same deal. Trailer to front axle, both sides, 3,300 each, 66 total. And I have one going over the front bucket, and boom, 6,600 pounds. It's a basket. If you add those up, if you remember, 33,106, you need half the weight. This is 14,000, as I said. You need 7,000. If you add up all those numbers, which is 6,600, 33, 33, 33 and 33 up front, and 66 again, you get the magic number of 26,400 pounds of load securement. Plenty of load securement. That's almost, let's see, that's 3.77 times the amount we need, which is fine. If you have more, if you can have more weight on your load securement, it's better. That's, I always say load securement is, it weighs the same whether it's in your toolbox or on the load. So there's that. However, we get into part 393 130. I get the book here. It is specific to the rules for securing down heavy vehicles and equipment. So, as I said again, this is 14,000 pounds. 393 130 is the special classification of heavy equipment, which is anything over 10,000 pounds. 14,000 is greater than 10,000 pounds. So, in general load securement, you need to have the four corners of the machine. Now, if it's something smaller, you could hook to the back, like I did here. Say you have a 8,000 pound tractor. You can hook to the back, like I did there. And if that chain over the bucket was pulling forward, that would be fine. However, special weight class. So, again, over 10,000 pounds. You have, the machine is separate from the attachments. Now, these don't come off, but they're hydraulic accessories. Accessory, it is 393 130 part B. Preparation of equipment being transported. Accessory equipment such as hydraulic shovels must be completely lowered and secured to the vehicle. These are hydraulic accessories. So your front boom and bucket are lowered to the trailer, and your rear bucket, digging arm, lowered to the trailer. Now they have transport locks and pins. I have seen people use those, stick them up. I guess you could on a low boy, but I like them lowered first off. Ride smoother, I think, a little bit easier on the machine. If it's older, you know, pins are loose, whatever. It's less moving weight, in my opinion. But in my case, if I had that boom and bucket up and locked in, I'd be over height, way over height. But anyway, so those are accessories So your vehicle right here is just the part with 4 tires on it. That's what we'll focus on first. Now you have to prevent your object from moving forward and back, up and down, left and right, all ways of direction. So I have the chain. They're pulling to the rear of the trailer on an angle. That will keep it from moving side to side, up, down, left, right, forward and back. If you see up front here, these chains, they're pulling to the front. They're hooked to the axle. They're pulling towards the front of the trailer. For load securement, you want your chains pulling opposite directions. That's how they work. That's how you get leverage. If you have them pulling the same direction, they're not going to do anything. It's just going to move around on you. So say I had all these chains pulling to the front of the trailer. If I stopped suddenly, the load's not going to go backwards because it's limited, but they can go forward. So that's why you have all opposing directions. So that gets your 4 corners of the machine strapped down. Now the other 2 parts you have to worry about are, again, the back digging hoe and the front scoop, hydraulic lift boom. So those have to be chained down independently, and they're, like I said before, lowered to the ground. And sorry, it's starting to rain, but we'll keep going. How I did that is I threw a chain up and over, pulled it towards the rear of the trailer. That'll pull that boom down and towards the machine, keeping it on the trailer, lowered and secure. On the back, the boom is lowered to the trailer with the bucket linkage resting on the deck. I threw a chain over the bucket, pulling it towards the front of the trailer. That'll pull that boom down and into the machine, keeping it down, lowered, and secure to the trailer. Also, so that counts as your hydraulic accessory equipment. Also, this isn't an articulating vehicle, but it has an articulating part, so I'm going to count it. Any articulating things need to have a locking pin to keep them from articulating, which this does not have. Or B, it needs to be chained. So that chain right there will hold this from moving side to side, swinging side to side during transportation. If you had a front end loader or an off-road dump truck where they articulate in the center, you either A, have to put in the locking pins, or B, put a chain or chains. You could, I guess, do side to side, one on each side, but it's easier to throw a basket over like I did on the back. That will keep it from articulating. That is also part of the criteria for articulating vehicles. So, not necessarily an articulating vehicle, but an articulating part, so I count it. That's how I do that. But that is the proper way, per the regulations, to tie this down to your trailer. I hope this helped you guys, and remember, it's just an example, it's just a guide, it's not a how-to. I am not liable. But yeah, so thanks for watching. Have a good one. Stay safe out there hauling your stuff, and as always, stay crazy.